I don't think that's right.
What's not right?
Everything. You can't see the sign.
Oh, you gotta tilt up the
Yeah, I think it's
screen.
just moved. There's more. Like, see the stuff on the one side? It's really going.
Oh yeah, I probably moved the camera when I was like cleaning up or something.
Does that look better?
I think so. And I need this. Hi guys. Jesse, tell me again what you just brought over here.
I said use a hoe.
Wait, I
The
forgot the song.
ludicrous song.
Oh no,
I
yeah.
said let's use a hoe. Hoe.
We couldn't remember the lyrics though.
No, but I know it's like cadence. You know, it's like, why you looking at me like?
I think those are the lyrics.
No. Oh, why you looking at me like that?
But I think that might
Get
be.
up out my crib.
I think that
It's
that's
like that.
move, bitch, get out the way.
Well, it's all like that.
It's all the same song.
Why
but
you
like...
looking at me like that? Get out my crib. So like white ludicrous.
White
White-a-cress.
What, Chris?
Just cress.
All I remember is
Just
the one
a
line.
crest.
There's hoes in my living
Just a
room.
crest.
Just a Chris?
Yeah, just a cress. Like cress is like a white. Like just a cress is white ludicrous.
I like it. He's just a Chris.
Southern hospitality used to be my shit.
What?
Drop bows, drop bows.
Oh,
bows.
I was thinking you were talking about. I thought you just completely pivoted, and we're talking about
I
the murder
love
TV show
Georgia
Southern Justice.
and the I thought you meant like in general. I just like Southern hospitality.
I was like, wait, what?
My 5 favorite things are ludicrous, Southern hospitality, Vans, sneakers,
your new motorcycle,
my motorcycle. No, drop bows, drop bows, drop bows, drop bows. I don't know how it starts, but if you tell me how it starts, I could sing the rest
my
of the song.
phone's upstairs. I can play it on my laptop.
Oh, it's like 20-inch grills, 20-inch grills. Check out all my 20-inch spills.
That sounds right to me. Hold on.
20-inch wide.
What's the name
Make
of the song?
20-inch eye. Southern Hospitality by Just a Chris.
Just a Chris.
Just another Chris.
I don't know where my speakers are at in this.
You can only play. I looked this up. Remember, I just made up that you could play 9 seconds of it.
Yeah.
When you look it up, it's like people think you can play under 15 seconds and get it. It's like you can't play anything.
No, none. We're gonna get sued one day.
To cut this out. Best song ever. Brienne, where are you at? Me and my friend Brienne used to drive around and just go like this. Girls, Cadillac Mills, check out the oil my Cadillac spills. Cadillac bills.
All right, it's about 9 seconds, right?
Wow. 20-inch eyes. Raw American 20-inch pies. Pretty ass hoes. These pretty ass hoes. Anything goes. Pretty ass bows. All right. I used to know the song. I'm pretty much just like a hype man right now. I just know like the last 3. I'm like toes. But the other thing is he rhymes like 4 things in a row. So I forget which order they are, but it's like toes, bow, like
toes.
But then you just fuck it up and say the other one, but it kind of sounds the same. I could be like a mumble hype man.
Ooh, that's a good job for you. You should do it.
He's like, pretty ass. I'm like, toes. Throwing those toes. Just make the noise.
You don't need to know what the actual word is.
Drop bows. Just go around stage throwing bows. You didn't throw bows back in the day?
I'm sure I threw plenty of bows.
Yeah. You look like a bow thrower.
They're being thrown left and right.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Hi, everybody.
Yo, so did you see, for our listeners, I don't know if you know the case of the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders.
Wait.
I know the case pretty well, like enough that I could. So I think I kind of want to like do it next week or something. We've never done it. But what were you going to say?
I was going to just summarize the case. So I will not do that because you're going to. Well, hold on. Let me just make sure it's
Let's
the right
just
one.
well,
So
let's
I'm pretty sure
well, people probably know.
everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Whatever, you'll just
What
get
were you
into
gonna
more
say? All right,
details.
yeah,
So
I
it
won't.
was just
Like, if
like
anything,
there
we
was
get into
a
less
camping
details.
circle.
Yeah, that's already less detail. Okay, guys, there was a camping circle.
Well, and the tent that the girls got murdered or taken from was the furthest away from the bathrooms, and the camp, like something with the counselors were completely on the other side of this. Nobody could
Basically,
hear them.
right, and like the kids, I forget all the kids. I don't know the exact ages, but they were like
Young.
one of the girls was, I think it was like 8 and 9 or like
Oh,
9 and 10. And the last tent not only was the farthest away, it was like
yeah.
100 yards away. There was the bathroom was like in the middle and blocked the view from the
Mm,
counselor's tent. Like picture a semicircle
yeah.
with a building in the middle, so they couldn't even see the last tent.
Yeah.
It's really a fucked up thing because there was like warning signs. Like someone left a note in a box of donuts like 2 weeks before, like we're gonna kill 3 kids,
Really? I
and they
didn't
just
know
didn't
that.
do anything. And apparently, I mean, like it was the 70s, and not that you can't, but like I feel like like you can't, like things happen nowadays, different things, obviously, but the camp was like not a good ran camp either.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was no safety. Like you think if you have like 50 girls that are 9 years old, first of all, they had like two counselors. There was like 60 kids that maybe you hire. Like I feel like it would be totally, you have girl or women like high schoolers taking care, or college kids even taking care of these little girls. Make total sense to have some college guys there, like security, like patrolling.
Right. Yep.
Like you got, we work this shift, and you go out and just like double check, or I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
But
as
what?
as you were talking, that's probably why they had so many slasher films about sleepaway camps
Oh
during
yeah,
that time frame.
yeah.
Because there was sleepaway camp, there was Jason. Was Jason the camp one, or was it Michael Myers? No, Jason.
Friday the 13th.
Friday
Yeah.
the 13th, Freddy Krueger. All of them were camp related at first, and it's probably because there was two counselors at any camp that you went to in the
Well, it
70s.
wasn't like something that you. Yeah, exactly. And it's fucked up. The three girls. The one girl, like they were. I'll maybe I will cover it, but they like read the letters, and the one girl's like, they're all so cute and smart, and like they read the letters that they wrote that day because it was raining, so they made these, or like the day before, and they sent these letters off. But one of the girls didn't want to go to the camp, and the mom like said like no, like you said, like the girl and her like friends
Mm-hmm.
were all going to go to the camp, and then the friends backed out, and the girl was like, oh, I don't want to go anymore, and the mom was like, well, you made a commitment, so
Mm.
she like feels horrible.
Yep.
Another girl wanted to come home, and they were like, well, just give it a little more, like it's so bad. But basically the and then there was like screams at night, and people didn't
Yeah,
really
nobody got up
cut
to
up,
do
like
anything.
actually got up to investigate.
Mhm.
But there was a guy that they thought it was the whole time, because a number of reasons, but there was evidence like he stole women's glasses, and he had a pair of the glasses that were from camp. There's all these things that tied up this one guy,
Didn't
and
they find his camp? They
yeah, they
found
found
his
his camp. He
camp.
was in the cave. He lived close there. He liked to live in the cave area, or like
Mhm.
in a cave or in the woods. So it was him, and they thought it was him. They tried him back then, but he was found not guilty due
Well,
to evidence.
no DNA at that
No, but
point.
then they did DNA like last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was him.
I can't believe he got off that many years ago.
Yeah, I mean it sucks, but like fuck it, they got him.
Exactly.
But like, how old were the parents? Like 30, 40? So now they're like they're 30 plus 40 years.
Yeah, they're in their late
70. So like
70s.
hopefully they're all alive to know that he got caught.
Ugh.
But the other thing was, I feel like he was half Indian, so the Indian, wherever it was in Oklahoma, had a big Native American presence,
Mhm.
and they kind of like, so Native American people got together and like got money together to give him a fair trial, and that was kind
Oh.
of a weird thing, because some of them were like, we don't know, we're not necessarily saying he's innocent, but he's not going to get a fair trial because he's Native American
I get it. Yep.
and this and that. So they like did that, and because of that, it helped him probably not get not guilty, because he actually had good representation.
Yep.
Which, whatever. I mean, that's how the game's played. But
Yeah, right to a
but then it
fair
was him
trial.
anyway.
Mm, that's so crazy.
Yeah,
That's why we need to bring back Public Murder Inc.
I know.
for situations like this. Would you go in the well?
Well, no, my friend. tie him put him in a tent, tie him down so he can't move, and
And
then
bees.
no, and then you don't tell him when you're going in, and then you go in and stab him to death.
Oh, I was thinking more of like that Viking thing that they used to do where they would put honey all over you and then they'd have ants like eat you to death.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ants or like vultures, they tie you down and like the vultures like peck you to death.
Wait, so because of sleepaway camp, this
Mhm.
actual Oklahoma,
Wait, have you ever seen Sleepaway Camp?
yeah,
The end?
yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
Everything's ridiculous. Friday the 13th ridiculous.
But you remember the end. And
No.
it's a guy with a dick.
Yeah.
I just watched it a couple years ago and I was like, what is actually happening?
I was referencing Friday there though, but yeah.
I was referencing.
No, I know. I'm just saying, do you remember that part in Friday the 13th?
I mean, that probably happened a lot, right? Was
She's
that the
running
one?
through the showers and he opens the shower curtain and we just see her and she's like, no, for like 5 seconds. And it's like, yo,
It's way too long.
throw a kick in those nuts, dude. Like,
Do
what are you doing?
anything.
No, you found me in those 4 showers. You found me. She gets it to the head, I believe.
Oh,
I haven't seen the last time I saw that was with Becky, Jack, and you, I think. Remember we went to see it because Becky never saw it?
Was that Friday the 13th? I thought that was a Jason Voorhees. He is Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street is what I'm thinking about. Freddy Krueger. Okay.
Friday the 13th 's Jason.
Yes, we did
But
see that together.
and don't you remember Becky didn't know that it was Mrs. Voorhees?
Yeah. Wait, that was such
Spoiler.
a long time ago.
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago, I guess.
3 or 4 years ago on Halloween. Interesting.
Yeah. Wait, so I was gonna say we went camping like 2 weeks ago, and do you remember in California like a year ago or 2 years ago, probably 2 years ago, COVID time now, COVID warp, so maybe like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
At Malibu State Park, there was a guy that was like going through the park. He was like robbing people, and then I don't know how many people he killed, but I know he killed the one dad. The dad was there with his 2 girls, and while he was sleeping at night, he came up to the back of the tent and just shot a single bullet into his head and just ran away.
And just killed the dad, not the girls.
Yeah. So the
I
girls
think I
woke
do
up.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we went camping and we're in like a remote kind of area at Roundstone, and we were secluded, and so we were going to bed, and I didn't tell anyone that I set up. So the way our tent was,
Yeah.
it was all like trees and shit around, but then the
Mhm.
back of our tent was like exposed to like a little walkway, like where a car could
Oh.
come in, or like a field, like it was just field. So you could like just walk through there and you wouldn't hear anything. So I put all these branches out so that
Oh.
like if anybody was doing it, they would have to like step on these branches or
Yes,
walk through the trees over there. Yeah. So I set up a booby trap. I didn't tell anyone. So we went to bed at like 11 or 12. I don't fucking know. At 3 in the morning, there's a huge noise. It's like boom.
The booby trap went off?
Yo, so first of all, we're asleep. I just hear a huge noise and I'm waking up. I wasn't even awake. I just woke up. Also heard the booby trap branches break and just yelled, "Hey!"
You did?
Yeah, because I was thinking maybe someone was right there and I was scaring
Was
them.
everybody else asleep?
No, so Jack, me and Jack, I sprung up and Jack was sprung up, but I screamed, "Hey!" like really loud. And I mean, it took like 20 seconds. I was like, where are we? And our hearts were racing. I was like, oh my God. And Jack's like, what the fuck was that? And then we put together that we thought like a branch fell.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. I was like, also, I didn't tell you I put this booby trap back there. Because she was like, why did you scream, hey? And I was like, well, I didn't know. I couldn't register anything except that I heard branches. So I just screamed because I thought someone was by the tent with like a gun.
Yeah.
Just to get another scare or something. I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know if Nick and Linda. So we open the tent and I'm like, Nick, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, who's screaming? Nobody knew what was going on. So we wake up the next day and dude, the fucking branch is 5 feet from the tent.
Oh, Widowmaker.
Yeah, that's what Jim said. And it was long. I didn't realize. I was like, but it wasn't that big. He's like, oh no, dude. He was like, if it fell straight down or this or that, it would have fucked you.
Yeah, you're always. But I just learned this
Yeah.
when I went camping. I went backpacking, and the girl I was with, she looked up And she was like, "Oh no, I can't be under this tree. It's a widowmaker." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And it was a big dead tree. And
Yeah,
so she was
dead
like, "You
one.
never want to sleep under those because they could fall down, or branches or anything like that." So I would have, if I would have set my tent up. There was like 4 trees that were like completely dead. I was like, "This is a great
I
spot. This
love
is what
these
I
dead
want."
trees. Feel so at home with these dead trees.
It was like a perfect little circle. I thought it was great. She's like, widowmakers everywhere.
What case you got for us today?
Ooh,
I have no
okay.
clue, but I know I'm gonna get some questions.
So you actually brought this up when we were doing the Jason Sweeney episode.
Oh, that one pisses me off so much.
I'm pretty sure you brought this up during Jason Sweeney. You may have brought it up again during another episode, but it is should I just tell you or should I have you guess?
No, I guess. Is it a girl
Yes.
and she gets murdered by her friends?
Yes.
Is it a young girl?
Yes.
Did the killer say 1, 2, 3?
I don't think so.
Did it happen in Pennsylvania, Ohio border?
No.
Oh, it's the other. Oh no, wait. One of those girls made it, and the other one didn't.
That was I know what you're talking about. You're talking about her friend stabbed her.
Yeah, when she snuck out of the window.
Yeah, but I forget their names. What were their names? 2 of their friends stabbed the one girl.
Yeah,
The
that
girl
was the
made
1,
it.
2, 3.
Yeah.
No, that one died. I think the girl that made it
Oh,
was the
Slender Man one.
Slender Man one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a different one with a.
It's different than both of those.
Wait a second. Is there like a couple girls involved?
Yes.
Like 4?
Yes.
Oh no,
Yes.
I don't like this one.
Neither do I. I hate it, but I had to do
Is she like somewhat? I'm like ruining it for this.
it.
I think she's a little bit alive for a little bit of time,
Yeah.
and then they keep like doing stuff to her.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I feel like she's Hispanic or something.
Mm,
No, but I know what you're talking about. She basically had a problem with one of the other girls, and they brought her out, and they all like, yeah. All right, let's hear it.
okay. So I'm doing Shanda Renee Sharer. I'm going to say her last name wrong. Sharer. But she was 12.
I didn't realize they were 12. I thought they were like
Yeah.
15 or 16.
Well, the other girls are. So she's the youngest. Shonda's the youngest. She's 12 years old. The other people who were like key people in this, the main person is Melinda Lovelace, who's 14. Lori Tackett, who's 17.
Yeah, this is this. Oh.
Tony Lawrence, who's 15, and Hope Ripley, who's 15. And then there's another girl, Amanda Harving, who's a little bit of part of this, and she's 15. So Shonda's the youngest when this happened.
Oh, she's so cute. This is a horrible one.
Yes. And just to give you like a little like quick little snippet, I just wrote on here. I actually probably should have put it on there, but it's the tragic death of Shanda Sharer. She was only 12 years old when she was tortured. Actually, I shouldn't even say
It looks
this
like
yet.
Shayer.
Shayer, that's it.
I think what you said.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get into some of these girls' backgrounds first.
Shonda Sharer.
Sharer.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm gonna talk about Shonda, give a little background about her first. She was born June 6th. The funny thing is, when I started writing this, it was June 6th. So interesting. 1979. Her parents are Stephen and Jacqueline. Her parents divorced, and she moved in with her mom and her new husband in Louisville. Shonda attended 5th and 6th grade at St. Paul's School there. She was super active, really pretty, really well liked. She excelled in volleyball, cheerleading, and softball. Her mom did divorce again, and they moved to New Albany, Indiana. And that's when Shonda was enrolled in Hazleton Middle School, so public school at first, but then she quickly switched to a Catholic school called Our Lady of Perpetual Help. And she
Help or hope?
Help.
Oh.
Our Lady of Perpetual Help.
Okay.
And she had like a really supportive family who really like loved her. So she had a lot of people who really liked her and really loved her a lot. Okay, so these next 4 girls that I'm going to talk about, it's kind of crazy because like they had really, all four of them had really like shitty childhoods. That does not give anybody an excuse for what they did, but like it's just so tragic.
I feel
All
like is this the ringleader?
no, the
Oh, is
one
it
on the other
this one
side. No, up top right, the really
uh,
pretty one.
right here?
That's Melinda Lovelace.
Oh yeah, she's the
She's like the main one. I'm going to talk about her
yeah.
right now. So Melinda, she she was born in New Albany, Indiana, 1975. She was the youngest of three daughters. Her parents are Marjorie and Larry Lovelace. Her father was a Vietnam vet and like a super fucking horrible person. Like he's a piece of trash.
I kind of remember this that like I feel like I heard someone say it. Maybe it was covered on like Morbid, and they were just basically like, you feel bad for the person,
For the kid.
the kid to grow up that way, but then it's like, yeah, but that's no excuse to do what they did, obviously.
Exactly. That's it. You nailed it.
Yeah,
But like I just to like kind of get a background,
yeah.
I'm gonna talk about him a little bit. So her father, this guy Larry, like apparently like abused every single woman he ever came into contact with.
Okay.
His ex-wife described him as, and this is Melinda's mom, described him as a sexual deviant. She said he would wear his daughter's underwear, their makeup, and was incapable of staying monogamous. And he had this like weird mixture of like jealousy, but then also fascination in seeing his wife have sex with other men and women. He would force her to have sex with other men, and women, and like in front of him. He would like force her to like have orgies, like all of this like really horrible stuff. And this was his wife at the time.
That's fucked up.
Yes. Um, Larry worked a bunch of different jobs. He was a mail carrier, but brought all of the mail. He ended up getting fired because would bring all of the mail home with him and just destroy it. Like fucking weird shit.
That's like Charlie.
From Always Sunny.
Yeah. He's like, what he's saying. When he's telling Mac like his routine. He's like, this mail I burn, right? he's like, this is like junk mail. Then there's like another pile. He's like, well, what about this? He's like, this pile I send it back out because then if it's important enough, it comes back in. And then he's like, and then this pile, this is the important pile. I deliver it, but some of the stuff I can't deliver, so I burn some of that too. He basically burns
all the mail.
delivers some, and then mails some out. It just keeps coming. The mail don't stop. The mail don't stop. Mail doesn't stop.
Well, that's apparently what
So this
Larry
guy
was doing
just
too.
didn't. Yeah. Okay.
He also worked as a probation officer, and he ended up getting fired for beating up a man that he accused of sleeping with his wife. He did work for like the military too, and he had a lot of flexibility with that job. So because him and Marjorie both worked, they were considered upper middle class. However, he wouldn't share like any of his money with his household, like with his daughters or with his wife. He would normally like take his money and like he would spend it on himself, like buying cars, motorcycle, guns, booze, all of those things. So Melinda and her sisters, they like really weren't ever really fed or clothed well. Their other family members would say that they would come over and they'd always be like super hungry and like, they just like always were super skinny and didn't look well.
Yeah.
Larry would go to bars with his wife. He would like lie and say he was a dentist or a doctor, and he would introduce his wife to like as his girlfriend, to like all of these like other men, and he would share her with these other guys. He would make her participate in orgies, like I was saying before. Now, she was not into any of this. Like she was like repulsed by it and was like, so he was like forcing her
Oh,
to
that's
do all
messed
of
up.
these things. Yeah, it was really fucked up. So one night Larry forced her to have sex with a man, and like immediately afterwards she like tried to kill herself. And it didn't tell him amount of times, but she ended up doing this over and over again. Like, so she was super traumatized, and he would like do this stuff in front of the kids too. I don't want to get like too much into the weeds on this guy. But pretty much he's like an abusive monster. Both of Melinda's sisters had accused Larry of sexually assaulting them multiple times as they were children. I think like since they were like babies upwards.
Jesus.
Yeah. Melinda never accused him. However, like during this trial that they had, like a lot of this stuff about Larry had came out, and other women were accusing him of rape and all of these horrible things. So his trial was right around the time of Melinda's trial, but like she never said that she was abused by him, but it's
Probably.
speculated.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? And it's speculated that she probably just didn't want to get involved because she had her own stuff that she was going on to trial for.
Well, if you're abusing everyone close to you and everyone around you and everyone you come in contact with, why would you not abuse this one of the daughters?
Exactly. This is a really messed up story too. So, like, when Melinda was younger, I think she was 5 at the time, Larry had made his family join a Baptist church because he wanted to, like, be saved by God. Yes. So, he joined this Baptist church. He would, like, try to force all of them to, like, go and, like, be all devout and godlike. However, he was still doing all of these things.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
So fucked up. Oh, yeah, he said that he wanted to save the family of their demons. He took Melinda at age 5 to some random guy to get her exorcised at age 5. And so Melinda said that pretty much all she remembered is that her dad dropped her off at a hotel room with a random dude, and she was there for 5 hours. And like during like these trials, like psychiatrists asked her like what happened if she remembered, and she was like, I think I like fell asleep and napped the whole time. So who knows
So
what
they
happened?
gave her something, probably. And
Yeah. So
wait a sec. This is like not. I mean, like sometimes. I mean, like this is obviously extreme, but I feel like there's so many like. Obviously, there's good people, bad people, but like God fearing people that do the worst shit, and then they're just like,
God will forgive me.
yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah.
Or
It's
just walking around being a dickhead all day long, but they go to church on Sundays. I'm like, I don't know
Mhm.
how it adds up. This is obviously way fucked up.
Yeah.
Which sucks for her, this girl, but then she, fuck her.
Well, and
later.
that's the thing. Like,
But like, I guess, and it's hard because you see so much stuff and you're raised a certain way that you think this is normal behavior or okay behavior, and then you push stuff later.
mhm.
You push the limits later. Or
Well, she
That's
was
your world.
not given any she was not giving any chance. Like
Right.
there was no love, no support. Like she didn't know how to like be a human. I remember them saying somewhere, and I don't remember where this was, that what are the 3 characteristics of being a serial killer?
You think I have them, but I don't have any of them.
It was peeing the bed. She had that. She was still peeing the bed up till like age 15.
Starting fires, but not the way I start campfires. That's what you. That's the episode I listened to recently. Was that one, and it was like me defending, and you were like rollerblades, bees, fires, and wet the bed, and I'm like, I wet the bed a couple times when I was at an appropriate age.
Like 2.
I was like, I love fire, but like I make it when I go camping, like
Yes.
twice a month.
Oh,
And
God.
rollerblades and bees aren't things. It's killing animals,
Killing animals, yeah.
fires, and wetting the bed.
I think her main one was wetting the bed. Like
That's
she
so
was still
weird,
wetting the
man.
bed.
I guess that's at like what was the show called? Mind Hunter.
Oh, Mindhunter, yeah.
Like I guess it was that guy or whoever. Like around that time that they put like interviewing everyone and put that together,
I guess so.
or whoever figured it out. But that's
I think it was those guys. I mean, it was
so someone's like, "Oh, you killed 3 people. By any chance, did you start fires and wet the bed?" And you're like, "Yep." Also,
right?
killed animals. Like the animals thing is, I think, a big.
That's the biggest.
I think if someone's killing animals,
yeah,
like if in the neighborhood, if I found out like a kid or my kid was hanging out with a kid or my kid was killing animals, I think that's like a big
it's a huge
red flag. Like if you're able to strangle out cats or try to catch squirrels and stab them, like you need to.
When I cleared
something
up
needs to happen immediately.
immediately.
I don't even ask. Do you still wet the bed? Hey, do you make fires? I think I think if that's the one that you have, like if you're just still wetting the bed, like all right, little fire here or there, all right. But if you're killing things,
yeah, I caught my like little neighborhoods out there. I'd like cleared the back of my like wooded area, and then I see him out there with like BB guns trying to like lure squirrels in and kill them. I was like, no.
well, so I think that's like a hunting, like they're thinking hunting. I don't think that's great. I don't think they should be doing that. Like, I wouldn't want my kids
They
doing
were
that.
like, they
But
were
that's
sprinkling crumbs in my backyard
Yeah.
to lure them in to shoot them. They
Yeah,
don't do it
that's
anymore,
something. I think that's still better than
like trapping and strangling,
yeah,
or
or like come here, little kitty, and then playing with the kitty, and then like you hear these fucking idiots, and then they like smash the kitty like a rock or something.
I don't want to hear any more about that.
Like that's pretty brutal.
It's super brutal. Ugh. Okay. Well,
What were we saying?
Melinda. Melinda's father was a monster, and he also made any person in his life miserable as well. So that's Melinda's background. So the next girl I'm going to talk about is Lori Tackett. So her name is Mary Lorin or Lori Tackett. She was also born in Indiana in 1974. Her mom was a fundamentalist Christian. Her father was a factory worker and had 2 felony convictions. Lori also claimed that she was molested at least once as a child at ages 5 and 12. And May 1989, her mother discovered that Lori was changing into jeans at school, and after a confrontation at night, attempted to strangle her. So she also has like this crazy childhood. Yeah. Social workers became involved, and Lori's parents agreed to unannounced visits to ensure that the child like wasn't being abused. There's another interesting thing about her too. Lori and her mom came into like a conflict at one point. Her mother went to there's another girl in this case named Hope Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
The mother went to Hope Ripley's house after learning that Hope's father had purchased a Ouija board for the girls. And so Lori's mom demanded that the board be burnt and that Hope's house be exorcised. So this is the second weird Christian exorcist type thing. Like the occult is kind of like tied into this as well.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
How did these fucking 4 girls come together?
That's what I want to know.
They're like a gang.
Yeah, they're a gang of like
Killers.
Yes.
Like there was no. Oh wait, doesn't one of the girls say? Maybe one of the girls tries to stop it.
I think there is one. Yes. So also this girl Lori, she was the one with the blonde hair in the picture that the short blonde hair.
She was ugly. They were actually all really ugly.
Yes. So Lori became like
I said it, bitch.
Lori became really like rebellious, and she was fascinated with the occult. She would often attempt to impress her friends by pretending to be possessed by the spirit of Deanna the vampire.
Why would that impress anyone?
I don't know.
Whoa, Lori's so cool when she's Deanna.
Deanna the vampire.
Let's go get some Slurpees. Lori's so cool. Like, why the fuck?
That wouldn't impress
I'd be like,
anybody.
get the fuck out of here, you weirdo.
Yes. And Lori also would like self-harm herself.
Normally I wouldn't say good, but good.
Yeah. And
I guess not good because she was struggling with something. That's what's fucked up is they were all struggling with stuff and couldn't get it help.
No, because they all had like these abusive pasts, like people.
Yeah, it's like it all started somewhere and then it didn't. It just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and then some random beautiful 12-year-old got killed.
Yep. So her parents finally like saw that she was self-mutilating herself, so they did check her into the hospital. She was prescribed antidepressants.
Antihistamines. Just have no more pollen.
So a couple days after she got out of the hospital, her and Tony, this other girl, what the heck is her last name? Tony Lawrence. They cut their wrists together.
Oh,
yeah,
it's gross.
And they
see like this, you feel bad for them.
I know, it's all so tragic. So they admitted her to the psych ward. She was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and confessed that she had actually experienced hallucinations. I can't say the word right now. Hallucinations.
Hallucinations.
Add it to the list of the things I mispronounce.
Talking antihistamines and hallucinations, but no more pollen. Just mumbling. People are like, what's going on?
What is happening here?
So yeah, because I think like so also when traumatic things happen, like PTSD, but like
Mhm.
especially early on, you like need to handle it like there's no one there to help you cope with it, so you cope with it mentally somehow.
Yep. And these girls probably all found their way to each other because of the experienced trauma of their past,
Yeah.
so they could, like, relate to each other. It was just, like, a toxic environment for them to all get together. Because pretty much what this case comes down to is, like, peer pressure,
Right.
and that's what happened. Um, so, yeah, so that's this girl. So the next one and that's Lori Tackett. So the next 2 we're gonna talk about, Hope Ripley. Her name's Hope Ann Ripley. She was born in Madison, June 9th, 1976. Um, mm, mm, mm. So she lived with her mom and dad. They had, like, a speckled past, but, like, nothing too crazy. I think they had split and then got back together. Um, she went to school. She was friends with Lori and Tony, Lawrence, whom she had known since childhood. Although her parents saw Lori as a bad influence, the as with the other girls, Ripley began to self-harm at 15. So her past wasn't as bad. This is Hope Ripley. She pretty much was just hanging out with the bad crowd, and she also was like self-harming herself. So she was like a little depressed. And I'm pretty sure Hope is the only one that like kind of up a little bit, but like did not nearly do as much as she could. Like this crime could have been stopped a million times over again.
Yeah.
And I think that one girl is the one girl who did, like, the least, but she was still super fucking involved
Yeah,
with what
right,
happened.
right, exactly.
Okay. And then Tony Lawrence. Tony Lawrence was born in Madison, February 14th, 1976. Her father was a boiler maker. She was close friends with, Hope Ripley from childhood. Now, she also had a bad past because she was abused by a relative at age 9 and was raped by a teenage boy at 14.
Jesus.
So another, like, horrible trauma-filled childhood. Um, oh, and the police only issued the boy to stay away from her.
What?
Yeah, that's the '70s for you.
Well, that was
Um,
probably 80s, right?
yeah, this was probably early
Like
'80s, you're
like
right.
or like when she got
Mid '80s, yeah.
what wait, was it Indiana or Kentucky? I forget now. Indiana?
This is Indiana. It's actually 1990, so it's the
So
'90s this
19
happened.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they were well, I looked and oh, what's her face was born 78, right?
Yes.
Wait, when were the other and the other ones?
76,
Okay.
76,
Okay.
74.
And Shonda was 78.
79. She was born 79, Shonda.
79. Okay.
Yeah. And then this last girl, Tony Lawrence, she did try to attempt suicide in 8th grade. And she was also self-harming herself.
Wow.
Okay.
What is going on in Indiana?
I don't know, but it's fucking horrible. Okay, so all right, the year is 1990. 14-year-old Melinda began dating a girl named Amanda Harvin. So after Melinda's father left the family and her mother remarried, Melinda behaved like erratically. So, okay, what happened with Melinda's mom too? So she stayed with that guy Larry, the abuser, for a really long time, but then she started like dating some of the neighbors and stuff. And I think she like got into a relationship with a neighbor and was able to leave Larry, but she only like really kind of protected herself. Like she did not protect her daughters after that. So like it was said somewhere that, like, her mom kind of abandoned her
Mm.
on top of all this other stuff. So, what this is saying is that Melinda's father left the family. The mom remarried. Melinda started behaving erratically. She got into fights at school and reportedly was was depressed. And she was sent to counseling for it. In March 1991, she came out to her mom, who was initially, like, super pissed at her, but eventually, like, accepted it, like, her daughter as being gay. Um, so throughout that year, Melinda and this girl, um, what the heck was her name? Amanda were dating, and eventually they broke up. But she's important, this girl Amanda. Amanda met Shanda in that fall at Hazelwood Junior High. That was the public school that she went to before the Catholic school. They had gotten into a fight, like in the hallway or something, but during detention, they ended up becoming friends. And they started a romantic relationship too. They were like exchanging like little notes back and forth to each other.
Shanda and who?
Shanda and Amanda.
Oh, right.
And Amanda was Melissa's ex-girlfriend.
Right.
So
That's right.
Yes. So
That's
Melissa
how it all started.
Loveless,
Yeah.
the one who has the father Larry that was abused the worst, was dating Amanda. Amanda and her broke up, and then Shanda moved to town. Shanda was brand new to the school, so a new kid, cute little 12-year-old girl, really pretty, started dating Amanda right away. So
a lot of young lesbianism.
yeah, I think they're all lesbians.
Like that's
Yes, the whole crew.
Okay.
Yeah. But there is some points where
women are the worst.
Wait, are you
There's-
shocked though that
there's
they're
no-
all lesbians? They were all tortured by
I know.
men.
Yeah, true. Well, that's why I was finding it interesting. I was thinking, did Melinda like to be the one in charge
Ooh.
because she, like do on like what she had done to her was she trying to do to other people?
That's interesting. And I bet you there's
Like, and
two
she
books.
was like, well, I can't do that to a guy, but I could probably
do it to a girl. There's
I don't
two
know.
books you could read about it, and
Not
might
going
get into it.
I probably won't. Probably just gonna watch Game of Thrones for the 10th time.
Ooh, there you go. Okay, so Melinda eventually found out about Amanda and Shanda's relationship. So it was in October of 1999. Amanda and Shanda attended a school dance together. Melinda found out and
Lost her shit.
yeah, pretty much. Wait, why am I? Okay, no, we're good.
Look at this, Melinda bitch, just find someone else.
Yeah, you would think that like it would just be that easy. Like, come on. Okay, so Amanda and Melinda had never really formally ended their relationship. Melinda just started dating other girls. So, first of all, Melinda's dating other people. She like left Amanda high and dry, but she's pissed at Amanda for dating Shanda. It's weird. So, okay. After Amanda and Sandra attended the festival together in late October, Melinda began to discuss killing Shanda. Why am I saying her name weird now? Shanda? Thank you.
Shanda or Shand? Yeah, Shanda.
Shanda. Okay.
Yeah.
So Melinda started to discuss killing her and threatening her in public.
You better not mess up her name because
I know people are gonna get mad.
Remember that one person
He got
went
so
off on?
mad at me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm trying my best, guys.
Whatever it is.
Okay. So, concerned about the effects of their daughter's relationship with Amanda, Shanda's parents arranged for her to transfer to the Catholic school in late November. So that's when she transferred to Catholic school from the public school. So she knew Melinda and Amanda from there. Now it makes sense. So Amanda states that she gave letters to Melinda. She gave letters Melinda sent her containing death threats towards Shanda to a youth prosecutor, but the youth prosecutor never did anything about them. So people knew what was happening. That's another thing. People were aware that there was death threats coming in. So now we're in January. It was January 10th, 1992. Tony, I hate when they do this. Tony, Hope, and Lori drove in Lori's car to Madison, where Melinda's house was. Hope and Tony were both friends with Lori. It's so complicated.
I know, but you're like, ooh.
I know. Well, I tried to change all of their last names because I did copy and paste some of this. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I used my Google Doc and I did change all of the last names to the first names, but it kind of messed some of it up.
Add in every other sentence.
Oh Lord. Normally I type this all out, but I did not do a great job this time. Okay.
All right, got
Okay, so all right, so Hope and Tony were both friends with Lori. And they had not previously met Melinda before. So some of the girls had never met before this night.
Oh, geez.
So keep that in mind.
Before what night? January.
This is the night that they are going to end up killing Shanda. So Melinda is the ringleader on this, and Melinda is the one who peer pressures them into it. But some of the girls only had just met her that night,
Oh, shit. Yeah, you are right.
which is crazy. Okay.
It is
So that's
January.
the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
So they all met up, the 4 girls.
That's what the fuck?
It's insane. It's
That'd be like,
absolutely insane. Yes.
hey, you want to smoke some weed in the woods? And like, we're calling a couple of our friends and we all get together and I'm like, actually, we're going to stab this kid that's a little younger than us. And everyone's like, great.
Remember, we did another story. There was a movie, Bully.
Oh, yeah, bully.
And
Yeah, but they planned that.
But 2 of the people had no idea they met that night. It was like her cousin's friends, and they also helped in the killing.
The boyfriend and the girlfriend?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Crazy. So it happens a lot. Peer pressure.
It happens a lot.
Apparently, from the cases that we do. Okay. So the girls all meet for the first time, some of them. It said somewhere that they borrowed clothes from Melinda. She showed them a knife, telling them that she was going to scare Shanda that night with it. Now, while Lori, Hope, and Tony had never met Shanda prior to that night. So 3 of the girls don't even know who Shanda is at this point. So Lori had already known the plan to intimidate the 12-year-old girl. Melinda explained to the other 2 girls that she disliked Shanda for being like a copycat and stealing her girlfriend. So like that was her motivation. She's being a mean girl. Okay. Lori let Hope drive the 4 girls to Jeffersonville, where Shanda stayed with her father on the weekends. They stopped at McDonald's restaurant to ask for directions because this was back in the day. There was no GPS. They didn't know where they were going. They arrived at Shanda's house shortly before dark. Melinda instructed Hope and Tony to go to the door and introduce themselves as friends of Amanda. Um, Shanda came to the door. She didn't see Amanda, and they told her that Amanda was waiting for them at the witch's castle, also known as Mistletoe Falls. It is like this ruined stone house located in an isolated like hill overlooking the Ohio River.
Okay.
It was like it kind of looked like when we run at Valley Green, like some of those old ruins. So like you could go, it's a wooded area. Think of the same type of setup.
Mistletoe Falls?
It's called Mistletoe Falls, or if you just Google the witch's castle, it will come right up. And for people who are just listening,
Utica?
when I looked it up, it looks so creepy.
This John.
Yeah, it looks really creepy.
Scary or scared? The Witch's Castle in Utica. Oh man. Well, it did pop.
Yeah, it's a little creepy and weird looking. No. Type in Mistletoe Falls.
It is. It says it. But that might just be a different side. It said mistletoe.
It's probably it. It looks very similar to that, but
Like
what I
that?
saw was a little bit different. Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay.
I mean, that gives you a good idea. So it's just old abandoned building from like the 1800s. So Shanda said that she couldn't go out with the girls because her parents were still awake. She told the girls to come back after midnight, which was going to be a few hours later. So the girls go back to the car. Melinda's super pissed off at first because she was like ready to go. She wanted to intimidate Shanda, like she was saying. Hope and Tony assured her that they would be returning to Shanda's later to follow through with the plan. So the 4 girls crossed the river to Louisville and attended a punk rock show by the band Sunspring. That was at the Audubon Skate Park near Interstate 65.
Sunspring?
Sunspring.
See if we can get this corny ass band up.
Yeah, see if you can find a song. Tony and Ripley quickly lost interest in the music and went into the parking lot where they were engaged in sexual activities with 2 boys in Lori's car. So
Good for them.
good for them.
Wait.
All right, play it. It sounds so bad. It's just noises.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's kind of like
It's really bad, but I like it.
Rage Against the Machine. Not this part.
All right, we'll cut that bullshit out. That song sucked.
Well, that was
They should have not sang.
yes. The beat was not bad. So that was Sunsprang. Um So after the concert, the four girls left to go back to Shonda's house. During the ride, Melinda said that she could not wait to kill Sandra.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Um However, Melinda also said she just intended to use the knife to frighten her, that she wasn't going to actually kill her. She was just going to frighten her.
Can't wait to kill her. I'm just gonna scare her.
When they arrived at Shonda's house at 12:30 a.m., Tony refused to retrieve Shonda. So Lori and Hope went to the door. Melinda hid under a blanket in the back seat of the car with the knife.
Oh my god.
I know. Hope told
Wait,
Shonda
12:30 at night.
at night. Yeah, so the girls she's sneaking out because when they went to go pick her up earlier, she said that she couldn't go out because her parents were awake. And then the girls came back from the show and they were going to be back at midnight, but they got lost. They
Poor
stopped at
thing. Too bad she
McDonald's
just
again.
didn't like fall asleep or something, or just change her mind.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so Hope told Shonda that Amanda was still at the witch's castle. Shonda was reluctant to go with them, yet agreed. Because, mind you, she's not met either of these girls before. Shonda has no idea who they are. And they're just two random girls that come knock on her door and say, hey, look, we're here. We're Amanda's friends. Amanda told us to come pick you up.
Just came from Sunspring. Want to chill?
Like, how frequently did this happen back in the day that she was comfortable enough to go with them?
Indiana's a weird place.
Apparently.
Sorry, people from Indiana. Not all of you. Most of you.
So Shonda did have her reservations about it, but she ended up going with them anyway. She agreed after changing her clothes. As they got into the car, Hope began questioning Shonda about her relationship with Amanda. That's when Melinda sprang from the back seat of the car with a knife and put it against Shonda's throat and began interrogating her about her sexual relationship with Amanda. They started driving towards Ithaca and the witch's castle. Utica. I'm sorry. Lori told the girls the local legend of Witch's Castle. Apparently, the house was once owned by 9 witches, and that the townspeople burned down the house to get rid of the witches. So they're like trying to like freak her out as they're going there. So the girls get to the witch's castle. They took Shonda from the car. She was like bawling her eyes out, completely terrified at this point. They took her inside this witch's castle and they bound her arms and legs with rope.
Oh my god.
I know. That's when Melinda like started to taunt her. She said that she had really pretty hair and wondered how pretty she would look if they cut it all off. So this like super frightened Shonda even more. Melinda began like taking off Shonda's rings and handed each to the girls. At some point, Hope had taken Shonda's Mickey Mouse watch. I remember you saying something about a Mickey Mouse something on one of the other cases. That's what made me think of this.
Wow.
She had taken her Mickey Mouse watch off and danced to the little tune it played. So she's like a little kid. She's 12 years old. She
Yeah.
has a watch that plays a Mickey Mouse tune.
Yeah.
And these girls are terrorizing her. So Lori further taunted Shonda, claiming that the witch's castle was filled with human remains and Shonda would be next. To further threaten Shonda, Lori then retrieved a shirt with a smiley face design from the car and lit it on fire. But she immediately feared that like the fire would be like spotted by passing cars, so the girls left with Sandra. Um, during the car ride, um, Shonda continued begging for them to take her back home. Melinda ordered Shonda to slip off her bra, which then she handed over to Hope, who slid off her own bra and replaced it with Shonda's for driving the car. Weird fact. Don't know why it's in
Okay.
here. No idea. Eventually the girls became lost. They stopped at a gas station, and they covered Shanda with a blanket.
Shonda.
Yeah, Shonda with the blanket. While Lori went inside to ask for directions, Tony called a boy that she knew in Louisville and chatted for several minutes to ease her worries. So, like, she's starting to freak out a little bit. I don't think she told him what happened. She didn't like mention the
just-
abduction.
Because she's so young, she was so scared. If she was a little older, she would have realized, like,
I gotta run.
I gotta run, and I might get, maybe if they are being serious, I might get stabbed once, but at least I'm around people. So annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So okay, they returned to the car. They started driving again. They got lost again, pulled into yet another gas station. That's when Tony and Hope spotted another couple of boys and talked to them before once again getting back into the car and leaving. So they're driving all around town. They're talking to multiple people. And then eventually they landed at the edge of some woods near Lori's home in Madison. So Lori led them to a dark abandoned building off the like a logging road in a densely forested area. Tony and Hope were frightened and stayed in the car, so they didn't go at first. Melinda and Lori made Shonda strip down to her underwear. Then, first of all, trigger warning. This gets like really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been horrible the whole entire time, but it gets really bad. Melinda and Lori made Shonda strip down to her underwear. Then Melinda began to beat Shonda with her fists. Next, Melinda repeatedly slammed Shonda's face into her knee, which cut Sandra's mouth on her own braces. Melinda tried to slash Sandra's throat, but the knife was too dull, so she wasn't successful. Hope came like running out of the car to hold Shonda down, and Melinda and Lori took turns stabbing Shonda in the chest.
Hope was too scared to get out of the car, and then she came and held her down.
I think maybe I was thinking the wrong girl. But yeah, no, because all of the girls are involved.
Yeah.
So they hid in the car. They were too scared, but then they did also.
Oh, then
they helped in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Then they strangled her with rope until she was unconscious. They placed her in the trunk of the car and told the other two girls that Shonda was dead. So the girls drove to Lori's nearby home. They went inside to drink soda and clean themselves up. When they then they heard Shonda screaming from the trunk of the car. So Lori went out with a paring knife and stabbed her several more times, coming back a few minutes later covered in blood. After she washed, Lori told the girls futures with rune stones. I meant to look that up and I didn't.
Rhinestones?
No, rune stones.
What's a rune stone?
RUNE stones.
Okay.
Futures with rune stones.
It better not be a
I think it's like an occulty thing.
Sunspring song.
Seriously.
Future with
rune stones.
How you spell rune?
RUNE stones. One word.
Oh no, I'm not seeing it.
I think when
The future of runestones.
Well, remember, Lori was the one that was like into the occult. So I'm assuming it's something occult related.
Okay.
So at 2:30 a.m., Tony and Hope stayed behind as Lori and Melinda went country cruising. That's when they just like drove around town. Shonda continued to make crying and gargling noises. She was not dead.
Oh.
Yes. So she's in the back of the car. Lori stopped the car. When they opened the trunk, Shanda sat up, covered in blood, with her eyes rolled back in her head, unable to speak. Lori beat her with a tire iron until she was silent, claiming that she felt the victim's head caving in. And then she told Melinda to smell it. There was also reports the victim became, oh, she said that because there's reports that they sexually assaulted her with the tire iron as well. Yes. Um so this like tire iron assault went on and off for hours as the girls like joyrode around town because like they were just beating her and she was not dying.
Right.
So like this was a super long torturous process. Um, Melinda and Lori returned to Lori's house just before daybreak to clean up again. Ripley asked about Sandra. Um, and Lori laughingly described the torture. The conversation woke up Lori's mother, who yelled at her daughter for being out too late and bringing home the girls. So Lori agreed to take them home. She drove them to a burn pile where they opened the trunk to stare at Shanda. Tony refused. Ripley sprayed Shanda with Windex and taunted, You're not looking so hot now, are you?"
Oh my god.
I know, it's so fucking brutal. Um, so the girls drove to a gas station near Madison High School, pumped some gasoline into the car, and they bought a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi. They poured the Pepsi out, refilled it with the bottle with gasoline,
Yeah.
and they drove north of Madison to this road called Lemon Road, and it's a place that Hope knew. Tony remained in the car while Lori and Ripley wrapped Shanda, who was still alive.
Right. Yeah, I remember she was like alive the whole time.
Yep, they wrapped her in a blanket, carried her to a field by a gravel country road. Lori made Hope pour gasoline on Sandra, and they set her on fire. Melinda was not convinced Sandra was dead, so they returned a few minutes later to pour the rest of the gasoline on her. Um, the girls went to McDonald's restaurant at 9:30 for breakfast, where they laughed about Sandra's body looking like one of the sausages that they were eating. Like fucking horrible. I hope all these girls burn in hell. Tony then phoned a friend and told her about the murder. Lori then dropped off Tony and Hope at their homes and finally returned to her own home with Melinda.
How are they out until this like time of night and shit?
Yeah, they just don't go home. The one girl was home and then she went back out again. Um so okay. A friend of Melinda's, Crystal Walthorn, came over to Melinda's house. They told her what had happened the night before. The 3 girls drove to pick up Amanda and take her to Melinda's house, where they told Amanda the story. Both Amanda and this other girl, Crystal, were reluctant to believe them at first until Lori showed them the trunk of the car, which was covered in Shanda's bloody handprints. There were still her socks that were present in the car. Amanda was horrified and asked to be taken home. When they pulled up in front of her house, Melinda kissed Amanda, told her she loved her, and pleaded for her not to tell anyone. Amanda promised that she wouldn't be telling anybody before she entered her house. She was probably fucking terrified.
Yeah.
Like, these people are pure evil.
I'm over here pulling up pictures of what they look like now.
Oh, yeah,
They are fucking gross.
you'll find out too. Yes. Do you think they're still in jail or no?
No, I know they're not.
None of them are in jail
I
anymore.
know.
It's insane. Okay. So this is about the investigation. So later on that morning, January 11th, 2 brothers from the local town were driving around this Jefferson
Airplane.
Jefferson airplane. Jefferson something ground. They were hunting and they noticed a body on the side of the road. They initially thought it was a mannequin of some sort, but upon exiting the vehicle, they realized immediately that it was clearly a burned up body of
Jesus.
a child. That's
Yeah.
how they described it, a burned up body of a child. They called the police at 10:55 and they were asked to return to the corpse. Um, interesting. The guy who showed up, the police officer, David Cam, he was later acquitted of his own family's murders. It's crazy. So, like, he was
Really?
involved with this case. I didn't really look into it at all, but his family was, like, full family annihilated, and he got acquitted of the charges, so they don't think it was him. They thought something else happened.
Indiana, man.
I know.
There is a lot of cases in Indiana.
Yeah.
A lot of like things have went down.
Yeah.
Where was the bridge? Where was
The bridge?
the something
Oh.
high bridge? Wasn't that in Indiana?
Wait, the,
I swear to God,
no, California, the warped
no.
with the
No, where the two
bridge.
girls were walking down the train and then they had audio of like
Yeah.
get down the hill.
I think that was Indiana.
It was called the something high bridge.
I forget the name
I
of
hope
it.
that gets solved.
I hope they get solved too. So the police initially suspected a drug deal gone bad, because they did not believe the crime could have been committed by locals. It was also noted that her body was posed in a suggestive position, very obviously meaning that this was done on purpose and with intention. It was also found that the victim's face and hands were burnt in an attempt to keep her unrecognized and unidentified. Shanda's father, Stephen, noticed his daughter was nowhere to be found early on January 11th. After phoning neighbors and friends that morning, he called his former wife.
Sorry,
They
real quick. It's called
Yeah.
High Bridge and it was in Indiana.
It was Indiana?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Uh,
Stay out of Indiana. Um, so Shanda's mom and dad met and they filed a missing persons report on her. By 8:20 that night, hysterical Tony and Hope went to the Jefferson County sheriff's office with their parents. They both gave like a very rambling statement identifying the victim as Chandra.
Shonda.
I keep saying it
There's
weird.
no R.
I know. I don't know why I keep saying it
Yeah.
like that.
Because you're thinking was it Chandra Levy
Maybe.
from around here? I don't know. Shonda.
I apologize, Shanda. I'm horrible at pronouncing names.
Yeah, Chandra Levy. Do you remember? Not to get too far, but that was in DC. That was like a whole thing.
I don't remember that one.
She disappeared.
Wasn't it a
Like when we were
politician?
high school. Yeah,
Okay, I think I kind of remember it. That's probably what I'm thinking.
Chandra.
I think this is
No, Shonda.
Shanda. Okay. Well, anyway, Tony and Hope went to the police station and they told the police exactly what happened. So the police were able to quickly get dental records and they identified Chandra. I'm going to say it wrong every time.
Shonda.
Thank you. Shanda as a victim.
Ugh.
Yeah. So Melinda and Lori were arrested January 12th. 2 days later. The bulk of the evidence for the arrest warrant was based off of Tony and Hope's statements. So Tony and Hope like immediately told everything, like
Yeah.
immediate guilt.
Because you can't have fucking 4 people do something randomly. So someone's gonna tell, and also they're 15.
Exactly.
They're not like hardened criminals.
No. Prosecution immediately declared its intention to try both Melinda and Lori as adults. For several months, the prosecutors and defense attorneys did not release any information about the case, giving news media only the statements by Tony and Hope. All 4 girls were charged as adults. To avoid the death penalty, the girls accepted plea bargains. Okay, so it's interesting. So they were saying that all 4 girls had troubled backgrounds with claims of physical and sexual abuse committed by parents or other adults. Tony, Hope, Lori all had histories of self-harming behavior. Lori was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, suffering from hallucinations. Melinda, often described as the ringleader in the attack, had the most extensive history of abuse and mental health issues. So sentencing. Lori and Melinda were sentenced to 60 years in Indiana Women's Prison in Indianapolis. Lori was released in 2018. She served probation for about a year. Melinda was released September 2019. Hope was sentenced to 60 years with 10 years suspended for migrating circumstances. I don't know what that means.
Mitigating circumstances.
That's it. Mitigating circumstances. What does that mean?
I guess just certain I don't know.
Certain circumstances. Yeah. Okay.
I can look it up exactly. Less severe I don't know. Mitigating.
Well, she was given 10 years probation.
She got less severe time. Mitigating circumstances. Just saying less.
Okay.
Because she probably was good behavior or something. I don't fucking know.
Probably. Tony was allowed to plead guilty to 1 count of criminal confinement and was sentenced to a maximum of 20 years. They all had appeals. October 2007, Melinda's attorney requested a hearing to argue for his client's release. He said that Melinda had been profoundly retarded by childhood abuse. Moreover, she had not been.
Wait, what? How'd they use that word?
So they said that. Let me read it again. The lawyer said that Melinda had been profoundly retarded by childhood abuse.
Oh, I thought you said. Okay. I thought you said the lawyer said the family is retarded.
I mean,
yeah. Okay, profound. Okay.
Yeah. So
like basically
she's developed properly.
Right. Yeah. Which I agree with, but so I guess that's. But like, come on.
But her sisters were also abused, and they didn't murder.
Yeah, they didn't murder someone horrifically.
Yes.
It's not even like, well, whatever.
I know.
Nothing's. Yeah, I don't know. There's never a good way to, but like, it's not like she shot someone and it was like, whatever. Like they murdered a 12-year-old for like hours, and then laughed about it as they ate McDonald's.
Yeah, so fucked up. I don't remember where I was. Oh, Melinda accepted a plea bargain in the face of new claims about her chances of receiving the death penalty. Her lawyers also argued that she was 16 when she signed the plea agreement. It was too young to enter into a contract with the state of Indiana without consent from a parent or guardian, which had not been obtained. The judge accepted the argument. Melinda had been retired or released outright. So that's how she got released early. On January 8th, 2008, Melinda's request was that was what she put in, but it was rejected. Instead, Melinda would be eligible for parole in 15 years, thus maintaining the original guilty plea. On November 14th, 2008, Melinda's appeal was denied, upholding the judge's ruling. So good. They tried to keep her in there as long as they possibly could.
I think she just got out.
She did, because it says Tony was released December 14th of 2000 after serving 9 years. She remained on parole until December 2002. On April 28th, Hope was released from Indiana Women's Prison on parole after serving 14 years for the original sentence. She remained on supervised parole for 5 years until April 2011.
So if they would have spoke up earlier, not only would Shanda still been alive, but then because they didn't, and then they just told the very next day, Shanda dies, and that ruins their family, and then they go to jail for 10 and 15 years, 14 years.
Yeah.
Which ruins their family. Well, lack thereof. But so what's the point?
They could have stopped it a million times over. There were so many circumstances where they could have stopped this.
Yeah.
And nobody stopped it. There was no point.
Crazy.
Lori was released from Rockville Correctional Facility January 11th, 2018. It was the 26th anniversary of Shanda's death after serving nearly 26 years and had completed an additional year for parole. Melinda was released from Indiana Women's Prison on September 5th, 2019 after serving 26 years in prison. She will serve parole in Kentucky. It just talks about the aftermath. Pretty much the aftermath was that, because of this, Larry Melinda's father was also charged and went to jail for rape, sodomy, and sexual battery of multiple victims. Um, and okay, Shonda's family, they set up a scholarship for her in January 2009. The fund planned to provide scholarships to students to 2 students per year from the school that she went to. It was a school of technology in New Albany. One scholarship to a student who is continuing his or her education, and the other scholarship to a student who's beginning his or her career and must buy tools or other work equipment. By November 2018, Shonda's mother, Jack Volt, stated that the scholarship fund had been depleted and was no longer accepting donations. So it stayed in good standing for at least 8 years before it ended.
Hmm.
Okay. In 2012, Shonda's mother, Jack, made her first contact with Melinda Loveless since the trials, although indirectly. Jack donated a dog named Angel in Shonda's name to Melinda to train for the Indiana Canine Assisted Network program, which provides service pets to people with disabilities. Melinda trained dogs for that program for several years, and Jack reported that she had endured criticism over that decision, but defends it, saying, "It's my choice to make. She's my child. If you don't let good things come from bad things, nothing gets better. And I know what my child would want. My child would want this."
Hmm.
And that she hoped that she would donate a dog every year in honor of Shonda. Um, God, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's a tough one. This is not. They're all tough, but like this one's so like just the age of everyone and unfortunate for the upbringings of those girls, and then and then you're like fuck those girls, but yeah, it's fucking, and the fact that she was alive through all of that, and it's so ugh.
It's such a bummer, and I, like, didn't wanna do it for such a long time, but, like, at the same time, it's, a story that needs to be told.
Yeah,
And if you ever see your friends doing stupid shit, stop them.
you can't get away with stuff. I don't know why. I mean, like I know this was 90s and whatever, but like, and they were young and just probably I guess didn't, but like you can't get away with anything.
Mm-mm.
So what's the point even doing it?
There is no point. There's no
And
point.
also, I don't know why everyone, and like we just had that. There was a mass shooting on South Street.
Oh, I heard about that. What
I
happened?
don't know all the details, but apparently they caught the people,
Oh, did they?
or they got like 2 of the 3, or maybe today they got the 3rd. But
Wait, there was multiple people that were shooting?
yeah,
I
or
didn't know
involved.
that.
Like they
Was it, like, gang
something.
related?
No, it was like someone was upset with someone, and they shot at them, killed those 3, but they just were letting off bullets, so they were just flying down, wherever,
Wow.
just hitting people.
Yup.
It wasn't like someone showed up to South Street and was like, "I'm just gonna shoot." Like something happened with someone.
Yup.
I mean, it's called a mass shooting because 3 people got hit or died and 11 people got hit. But I just feel like when you hear mass shooting, but like my point, like like you just like what's the I don't know. Why don't people just fist fight anymore? You know what I mean? Like
Or, like, if you wanna never mind. Kill people, go kill yourself. If you wanna kill people, go kill yourself. How about that?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, don't take other people down.
Don't take other people down. Just slap someone.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
That I feel
And
like if
that's
you're,
'cause
I
we're
feel like if
normal
you're,
people.
I
That's
feel
why
like
it
if
makes
you're
no sense to
12
us.
and you have beef with another kid in school, and you
Mhm.
went over and you slapped them, and then maybe that person stood up and not punched you in the face,
Yeah.
or maybe nothing happened, but then there's repercussions of like how much trouble you got in, you
Yep.
would realize like, oh,
Mhm.
I can't even just slap people.
Right? Wait, I have a funny story that would be a good anecdote to end this with, to change the subject.
I'm in a bad mood now. I don't even feel like doing mine.
We don't have to. Wait. So my mom told me this story. She said that there was she was visiting friends down in Florida, and they saw this news, like this, I don't know, thing in the newspaper, and they thought it was freaking hilarious. So they cut the article out.
Yeah.
Apparently there's this woman who had her I might say this wrong, but
You might.
she was driving her ex or her current husband's car, and she was driving it because her husband had just gotten out of jail and he didn't have a driver's license. So she was driving over to her new boyfriend's house to get some booty. And as she was driving, she was also shaving her vagina and got into a car accident.
What the fuck? Did she? Hopefully, no one got hurt.
I don't think they did. But can you imagine?
How did you not see me stopped at that red light?
I was
Looking at my
shaving.
vagina.
Who shaves their vagina as they're driving their car?
With their ex-boyfriend to go get some
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
Oh, so funny.
Oh boy, what a bummer of a case, dude.
I know. Sorry.
All right, well, that's our case.
That's it.
Cue the outro music that I'm gonna put in this time because the last episode doesn't have it.
I know. I was listening to it and I was like, wait a minute. We just end like that now? Since when?
Strange. Wait,
I don't remember the words.
is that ours? Oh yeah, the intro. Well, the outro was the other song.
I don't remember.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah. No, we changed it to another one though, didn't we?
Fucking know.
I don't know. They're both really good though.
Oh, we changed it to Curtis.
Yes.
Song.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that one's creepy too. All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.